Hi guys, it's April, and I have a book review. I will do this book review the same way I do all of my other book reviews. I will have the non-spoilery section up front, followed by a dump of spoils that come from my brain because of things that I've read afterwards, and as always I will tell you when that transition happens in case you don't want to spoil yourself for what could be coming in your future. So I received a copy of Venators Magic Unleashed by Devri in exchange for an honest review, and so that is what this is. Now, me receiving this copy does not color my opinion of this book in any way, and so I will get on to this review just with a little precursor. Magic Unleashed is the first book in the Venators series. It is the story of Ruin, Gray, and Riker who find themselves in a world where all of those supernatural creatures that you think about in horror and all of those other genres actually exist. But they need someone to keep the peace, and that's where the Venators come into play. Ruin and Gray are pulled into this world to fulfill those roles, while at the same time they're trying to find their footing within all of this very political backcharge of things that are going on. They're trying to find out who they are because with being a Venator, they have all of these strengths and skills that Ruin didn't realize she had, but Gray somewhat knew because in his past he had encounters with these creatures before. But Riker is pulled into all of this very unwittingly, and Ruin has made it her quest to go find her brother. So throughout this journey, all of them are trying to figure out what is going on, how they actually fit into the system, and how they can become more than just tools for everybody else who wants to use them. This whole story feels very Dungeon and Dragon-esque. Like, you have all of these creatures, you have this quest type feel to the book. A lot of this book is them just trying to get places and do things and trying not to be bullied by other beings in this realm. I really liked how things started to build out in this story, especially with Ruin and Gray. I really enjoyed Gray's character just because of his morality and where he's coming from, and Ruin I feel could be a very, very strong character moving forward. But one thing that I found a little lacking in this story is a lot of things being fleshed out. You've got a lot of information coming at you very quickly. You have a lot of characters who are being thrown at you, and a lot of times it feels a little bit like an info dump, and then all of a sudden we're running for our lives and you don't really get to feel these characters fleshed out. Ruin and Gray, you get the feel for their past and who they are and what they could be doing in the future, but all the other characters become this side thing that just pushes along the story. And I know it's hard to do that in very short amount of pages in a fantasy like this, but I wanted more from those characters because I feel like this could be very much fleshed out, because there are parts in this where Walls is taking traditional beings that we know, but she's changing them a little bit. And so there's this very awkward moment where you're like, but that's not how these things are. But in her world, they are, and I wanted some of that fleshed out and some of that figured out. And of course, there's little stabs of humor that I think may have fallen a little flat at times, just giving names to some of these things and bringing in popular names like Dracula. I understand why it was done, it just felt a little odd to me, but overall I did truly enjoy this read. I'm interested to see on where the rest of this story goes. I want to see Ruin and Gray built out, and maybe some of the frustration I had with some of the political issues that go on in this book figured out, because there was a big chunk of this book where I'm just like, why would you even put up with this? Honestly, if you expect them to be, and then why? So there's a lot of issues that I hope are resolved in the later books, so we'll see how that goes. So this is the point in this review where I say, don't spoil yourself, but if you do, that's okay too. So I don't have a lot of spoiled-filled thoughts that I need to get out, but one of the biggest things that I started really feeling as I was going through this story is the fact that this council wants to use these two advanced humans to further their agenda, but at the same time they're looking down on them. So they're supposed to be these Venators who have all of this strength and this power to make sure that everybody else is falling into line, but at the same time everybody else expects them to fall in line with what their goals and ideals are. And I know some of that is because they're just brand new to all of this, so it's very easy to manipulate them. But at the same time, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, why would they fall into line for your counsel? What is in it for them? You just drag them into this world what benefits them to being part of this? Why couldn't they become a hermit out in the mountains somewhere? Because eventually they discover the skill set, right? I mean, why would they follow your line of reasoning? And I know some of it's going to be morality reasons, and of course finding Riker. It just, there was this whole point in the book that I couldn't find the motivation of why everything would happen the way people expected things to happen. I don't know. And why would they care enough to be advocates for these creatures? You see what I'm saying? I don't know if I see what I'm saying. Those were just thoughts that I had. I don't think I have any more thoughts. I'll probably remember more thoughts after I turn off this camera, but that's all I've got for now. And if you have read this book, let's start a conversation down below, and I heart your beautiful faces. Bye.